Bakwena Productions return with the second installment of Losing Lerato, which premieres on Netflix today. The movie, which first debuted in 2019, tells a story about the deep love between a father and a daughter. Losing Lerato scooped several international awards, which are Best Actor for Feature, Best Actress Feature, Best Child Performance, and Best Original Score, to name a few. So what does Losing Lerato 2 have in store for us? We are now joined in studio by the main character of the film, Kagiso Modupe, as well as Nefisa, Mkhabela, who are joining us in studio. Should we say father and daughter?
Yeah, Papa le Nana.
Are you still baby chief?
Look, I'm still baby chief and I still hate it.
Yeah.
Still hate it. Good morning. Thank you guys for making time for us.
Yeah.
How was the premiere yesterday?
I mean, you know, look, the makeup department did some wonders here.
Woke us up.
Woke us up. We're tired, but we're excited. We're dropping today on Netflix. The numbers, we just got an SMS, are doing very well internationally.
Really?
Yeah, so we're going to be #1. Yeah,
we are going to be #1. Congratulations, you heard it first year on the AM report. You heard it first year on the AM report. Tell us about the second installment of Losing Lerato, because the first one was very, very emotive. I don't know how many fathers may have stopped you along the road and events that you go to and say that I can relate to that story.
Yeah, I mean, and that's what we're doing with the second one, because it was more about, you know, from a point of view of the father's love for the daughter. And where we are now is that we are now reversing it. It's more about the daughter's love for the father.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, what you plant is what you're going to sow in the next 30 years to come.
Yeah. And in looking at the trailer there, at some point you're holding a gun. Like, wow, at some point your dad was holding a gun against your head in a bus.
Yeah, like daughter. Like he said, we're going to plant the seed, just know that it will bite you back.
Yeah, it will bite you back.
So tell us about the role that you then play as Lerato, who is about to turn 21 years, after 15 years of not seeing your father. And he comes out of jail. And then what happens? Don't tell everything, though.
Absolutely not. I'm trying to get you guys to watch
Man, let's just spoil it for everybody.
No, don't do that.
Let's do it. Yeah.
Don't
You're going to watch it anyway.
They must know why you're #1.
No, I think for her, it's just about catching up on lost time. We see that the character is very anxious throughout the film, you know, just wanting to really just impress him and really just catch up on lost time and really try to see if they still gel the same way that they did. Because, I mean, from the first film you saw, they were inseparable. And I guess she's still trying and hoping to find that love and rekindle that love and, you know, just kind of catch up on lost time and, yeah, make the best of whatever time they have.
With the emotions that we get from Losing Lerato, the first installment, do you think that carries through in the second installment as well?
Oh, absolutely.
Because sometimes when you read some of the comments of people like, oh, I'm crying.
Yeah.
I'm crying. Do you get that same sense from this one as well?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, this one, at the end of the premiere, people were even shouting at us. They were like, why would you do that? Why? We didn't come here to cry. But it's such a feel-good movie, which is such a weird thing. I remember sitting next to one of the ladies at the premiere, and they were just like, but this is such a feel-good.
Yeah.
They really force you to fall in love with these characters and fall in love with their relationship. And I think it's good because it's also good for our generation as well. Because moving forward, we never ever want these characters or real people to end up in this kind of situation, and that's why it's always important to know who you're about to have a child with. You know, and be mindful of, you know, what may come from those consequences. So yeah, I think it also had a lot of teachings. So yeah, no, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Kagiso, why this movie? Can you take us back to when the idea first came to tell such a story? Of one.
So I'll tell you, there's a lot of parents who are in fights in terms of paternity and all of that. And once parents separate, they tend to use the kids to fight their own battles. And this is big now. You go to maintenance court, it's the biggest thing now. And we tend to forget that there's this person who's here who doesn't care about money. They just want dad. They just want mom. So can we just try and make it work? And that's why Losing Lerato won. A lot of people could relate to it. And what I like about it, it's not just one-sided, you know, it's both-sided, male and female. And it's the same thing now. Obviously, we needed to do Losing Lerato 2 because he needs to come out of prison. And on one, obviously, we do know that we find out that he's not even my child. She's not even my child. So love between a father and a child or a mother and a child is not determined by DNA.
Yeah.
It's love.
Yeah. Did you have any personal experience around that?
I had a good upbringing, man. I had a good dad. I had a good mom. I was chilled. But it doesn't mean that, you know, you don't see it happening around you. That are going through it. I've got uncles who are going through it. I've got, you know, aunts who are going through, so those kind of things you go, you know what, we need to tell a story that people can relate to. And that's what Bakwena Production is about. We tell authentic, universal stories. And that's why our stories will always win international awards, not just South African awards. I mean, we're sitting on what? We're on 15 international awards now.
Wow.
You know, yeah. And so this one,
many more to come.
But this one is fire, this one.
So many more to come.
Sure.
Amen.
Many more to come. Let's speak quickly about production in general and putting together productions of these magnitude. At some point, South Africa is really struggling when it comes to making sure that we actually have budgets being allocated for film as well as new series to come up. And then you have a production like this. First of all, how would you compare the two, Lerato 1 and Lerato 2, putting everything together?
I mean, with Lerato 1, it's public knowledge when we didn't have money. You know, we had to sell our houses and take money from school fees and all of that. But we have improved. You know, with this one, we had money, you know, and we were able to put out a good production. But to answer what you're saying, it's not enough. You know, this department that we are in, it's still sports, arts, and culture. So I think we need to have sports, department of arts and department of sports. You know,
but what separate the two?
Separate the two. Separate the two so that then, you know, we can have a good focus. There's a lot of stories to be told. And I'll tell you, traveling internationally, they want us. They want us. They want the South Africans because we have stories for days. Hollywood has run out of ideas. The ideas are here. So I think that there needs to be more investment into the South African film and television industry.
But also the how innovative you were in your approach for the first production. Say that, hey, listen, guys, we don't have money right now. Are you willing to jump on board? And this is how we can share on profits and revenue as well.
If you don't move, you die. That's what they said. You know, if you don't move, you die. We are tired of having to feel sorry for ourselves as artists and having to, you know, always point fingers. This guy is not giving me money. That department is not giving me money. Get up, do it on your own. And I mean, 6 years later, we're sitting here with 6 films and we are growing and we are growing. You know, whether people will jump in or they won't jump in with money, we keep going.
Okay. Nefisa, tell us about you stepping into this acting role as well. How it all began for you?
Well, Kagiso actually told me a year before it actually happened. And he was like, Wena, don't you feel like you wanna?
Just like that.
And I was like, oh my gosh, me? Which was crazy because I knew Kagiso from at school, actually. He came, he came to my school and he spoke. And I was just like, I'm gonna work with this guy one day. And literally the following year, he was my director. I was like, a bit creepy. But after that, man, like he's been like an older brother, dad to me. And yeah, he presented this opportunity and he was like, do you think these pictures look the same? They look like this would be older.
Can we get 2 shots of them, please, and see whether there's any resemblance?
Look at my nose.
Okay, let's see. Okay, we're zooming in. We want to see if there's any resemblance.
I mean, it's also about just energy. You know, you want to have people who are production friendly. because we shoot under immense pressure.
Yes.
But also you're looking for talent, you know. So she's always been on the hit list of the people that we want to work with, you know, and we've got this hit list.
What does that mean?
And we're going to keep coming for it, you know.
What does it mean to hear that?
Yeah.
It's huge. I still find it crazy. Like, I'm just always like, I feel like he hypes me up more than he should. But I'm like, you know, it's always nice to have someone like that in your corner. It motivates you.
What did the people say last night? If you're saying that he's hyping you up, what did they say last night?
It was overwhelming, I don't want to lie. Like, everyone just had such beautiful things to say, reaffirming everything he's ever told me.
Yeah.
It was just crazy, because it's one thing to sit there and think, because throughout the film, I was just like, what am I doing? Yeah. And I stepped out, and everyone's just like crying, and they were like, why would you do that to us?
Yeah.
And just all these compliments, and I was like, wow,
It must be a fulfilling feeling as well.
It really is.
And affirming.
Yes.
Yeah, and affirming. Is this your first film?
Yes, it is.
Wow.
Yes,
and
it
you got a
is.
lead
I know.
character.
And she smashed it.
And she smashed it.
And she smashed it. And she smashed it out of the park. I mean, I'd say people must just go in and watch it. And I even said it at the premiere, you know, if the country doesn't wake up to Nefisa's talent, then, well...
Okay.
Yeah.
Nefisa, any plans that we should know about that are in the pipeline?
Yeah.
Hey, it's okay. Ke modimo.
Ke modimo.
Re tla bana ka modimo.
Ngihlangane noTyler, uTheta.
Yeah. Eta Tyler.
Eta Tyler.
Konke ngihlanganisayo.
Okay, something. You know
Yeah, nobody Tyler, nobody. Yeah.
Kagiso Bakwena Productions, you spoke about the 6 other movies that you were busy with since, since 2016?
Yeah, so...
And what else?
And that's the thing with us, you know, with every film, there's got to be an educational element. And people have responded very well to our films, and internationally as well. So Losing Lerato was about that, and we had Tando, which was more about, you know, bullying at school, and teenage suicide, which is something that is also swept under the carpet. We had Ingoma, which was about a boy child, because we tend to forget the boy child, and masculinity, which also did very well internationally. And we have now Losing Lerato 2, and we're now bringing in another film, which is going to be called Blind Love. And it's about Muti killings, which is something that is brushed under the carpet. Kids are going missing every single day in this country. And we just, you know, we're just brushing it under the carpet.
We just cover the story. As the news, we just come in and we tell you that this story is happening, this has happened, and there's a court case.
Yeah.
And after the court case, that's the end of it.
Shoop, yeah. So there's going to be an educational element, you know, with that as well, that is going to change the narrative in how we do things in culture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your vision for South Africa's art industry?
I'm hoping that, you know, we get to start doing things right. I hope that, you know, we become structured. I hope that we make it safe for women in this game. And young girls, you know, who are coming into the industry. I'm hoping that we can, you know, start seeing royalties. You know, I'm hoping that we stop seeing famous people die as paupers. You know, yeah. Gayton, I want to be the minister.
What do you want to say to him?
Yeah.
Tell him. What do you want to say to him?
Yeah, I want to say this to Gayton Mackenzie. You know, we respect you, and we hope that when you're coming into the space, you don't see it as a demotion. You know, when you're coming into the space, you see it as an industry that can generate revenue and that can contribute to the economy of this country. You look at America, it's running on entertainment. So we're looking forward to you taking it seriously, and we know, because we can see what you're doing. You're already changing the game and turning certain things that were not as big. Yeah. And manje, you're lifting it. Well done.
Yeah, and I have to say that his attitude around arts and culture as well is very different to what we've seen before.
Yeah.
He also doesn't believe that it is a demotion or lesser of a department. It's such an important department because it also speaks to our identity as South Africans. What does it mean to be a South African? Nefisa, what's your message to the young girls who are watching you?
I really hope that they do feel inspired. Your dreams are valid. There is nothing impossible or too high to reach. I mean, just the other day I was in high school. I did not know that I would be here. I just dreamed of it. I hoped and prayed. So it's possible. Follow your dreams. Keep working hard. Stay in school.
Stay in school.
Stay in school.
Stay in school.
And no drugs.
And no drugs. Okay.
Yes.
And she knows. I always go on
No,
about this thing. I said, if you take drugs, it's done. It's done.
That's my attitude as well.
Yeah.
You touch drugs, it's the end of our friendship as well.
Yeah.
It's the end of the And it's engaged. Kagiso, Nefisa, all the best.
Thank you.
Well done. Congratulations. And once you do get those accolades and those statues,
on this table like this. On this table like this.